There are some actors who become famous after years of struggling to get their first opportunity. Hayden Panettiere's story was completely different. Her life in entertainment began before she was old enough to understand what a camera was. She entered the industry as a baby, grew up in front of television audiences, became one of the most recognizable young stars of her generation, and eventually built a career across television, film, music, and video games. But behind the fame was a much more complicated story, one filled with extraordinary success, personal struggles, motherhood, addiction, grief, and an ongoing attempt to rebuild her life on her own terms. Hayden Panettiere died on August 16, 2026, at the age of 36, leaving behind a career that had already lasted more than 3 decades. Her death was confirmed by her family, who described her as an incredible light and a force of nature who brought love and joy to the people around her and to millions of fans who watched her on screen. Hayden Leslie Panettiere was born on August 21, 1989, in Palisades, New York. She was born into a family with connections to entertainment and public service. Her mother, Leslie Vogel, was an actress, while her father, Skip Panettiere, worked as a fire department captain. Hayden also had a younger brother, Jansen Panettiere, who would later become an actor himself. From the beginning, Hayden was surrounded by an environment where performing was familiar, but nobody could have predicted just how early her own career would begin. Hayden started modeling when she was only 8 months old. At approximately 11 months, she appeared in her first commercial, advertising a Playskool toy train. She was barely 1 year old, yet she was already beginning a professional journey that would eventually take her around the world. According to the Television Academy, she appeared in more than 50 commercials as a child. By the age of 4, Hayden had already landed a major acting opportunity. She joined the cast of the long-running American soap opera One Life to Live, where she played Sarah Roberts. She later became part of another major daytime series, Guiding Light, playing Lizzie Spaulding. These early roles meant that Hayden was not simply appearing occasionally on television. She was developing professional acting experience while still growing up. Her childhood was therefore very different from that of most children. While other kids were discovering school, friendships, and hobbies, Hayden was attending auditions, memorizing lines, and spending time on professional sets. She was learning how to work in front of cameras at an age when most children were still learning how to read. But Hayden was not limited to television. She began developing a film and voice acting career while she was still young. One of her early memorable roles came when she voiced in Pixar's A Bug's Life. She also appeared in Dinosaur and later became involved with video game projects including Kingdom Hearts. Her work as a young performer earned recognition, including a Young Artist Award for Remember the Titans and a Grammy nomination connected to her work on A Bug's Life. Then came one of the films that helped introduce her to a much wider audience, Remember the Titans. Released in 2000, the sports drama starred Denzel Washington and told the story of a high school football team dealing with racial integration and social conflict. Hayden was only 10 years old when she appeared in the film, playing Cheryl Yost, the daughter of Washington's character's coach. Her performance helped establish her as a young actress capable of holding her own alongside major Hollywood performers. She continued working throughout her childhood and early teenage years. Her film credits expanded to projects including Joe Somebody, Raising Helen, The Dust Factory, Ice Princess, Racing Stripes, The Architect, and other productions. By her mid-teens, Hayden had already accumulated more than a decade of professional experience. But the role that would completely transform her career was still ahead. In 2006, Hayden Panettiere was cast as Claire Bennet on the NBC science fiction drama Heroes. Claire was a teenage cheerleader with a seemingly impossible ability. She could regenerate after being injured. The character became one of the most recognizable figures on the show, and Hayden became a star almost overnight. Heroes arrived during a period when television was becoming increasingly ambitious, and the show's combination of superheroes, mystery, and interconnected stories captured audiences around the world. Hayden's Claire was one of its central characters. She was young, vulnerable, and powerful at the same time, and Hayden gave the role an emotional quality that helped audiences connect with her. For a generation of television viewers, Hayden Panettiere became Claire Bennet. She was no longer simply the child actress people remembered from commercials and family films. She was now an international television star. Heroes ran from 2006 through 2010, and during that period Hayden became one of the most recognizable young actresses in Hollywood. She appeared on magazine covers, attended major events, and became a constant presence in entertainment news. But fame at such a young age came with its own pressures. Hayden had been working almost her entire life. By her late teens, she had already spent years being watched by the public. Her personal life was increasingly discussed alongside her professional career, and the transition from child star to adult actress was taking place under intense public scrutiny. In 2009, Hayden began a relationship with Ukrainian heavyweight boxer Vladimir Klitschko. Their relationship attracted significant media attention because of their age difference, their international profiles, and the contrast between their careers. They briefly separated in 2011 before reconciling in 2013. Later that year, they announced their engagement. In December 2014, Hayden gave birth to their daughter, Kaya. Motherhood became one of the most important and difficult chapters of her life.